Hello, ni hao, and welcome to another CRI webcast here on the CRI English website. I'm Paul James, joined by a very special guest here in Beijing. Nobel laureate, all-around good guy, I think, and we shall find out more. Dr. Mohammed Yunus is joining us here in Beijing, soon to be featured, by the way, in an upcoming film. Doctor, thank you very much for taking the time out with us. It's a real pleasure. Let's talk about why you're here in Beijing, first and foremost, the movie. Why China? Why come here looking for Chinese help?
No, it's not, for me, it's not the Chinese help in that sense. We were doing microcredit in China for a long time. There are a lot of people who are interested in microcredit. They came to Bangladesh to find out how we do it. And we helped them to set up programs in different parts of China. In 2006, I was invited to start a microcredit program in China through Grameen Trust ourselves. So we are trying to sort out all the procedural things so we can start the program. So in that connection, I came here. And also, there's a movie that will be made on my work, microcredit, and all the issues that I've been raising. So they came over since I'm in Beijing talking to people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's how it's working.
That's how it's working.
So let me ask you about the idea of being featured in a movie. What do you think about it? I mean, is it interesting, exciting? Are you a little nervous about exposing yourself and your personal life to the world?
That's how I felt when my publisher for the first time mentioned to me in 1992 that I should write a book on my life. I felt very embarrassed. I said, he said, it should be your autobiography. I said, people write autobiography when they retire. I'm not retiring very soon and I don't intend to. Why should I write an autobiography? He said, well, you can tell what you want to tell about your work and your ideas and visions and so on. I said, look, it doesn't feel comfortable to say all these things at this stage. Then he gave me the point that, look, you are going around talking to people, explaining your things, and how many people you can meet. But if you say the same thing in the book, it will reach out to many, many readers. So that way you are extending your own work. So I see the movie in the same way. It's not about me or something. It's the idea of how we can change this world, why we need to act very soon, very quickly, because this is within our power to change the poverty situation, for example. Nobody needs to be poor people. They are suffering. And for no good reason. We have all the means, all the resources to get people out of poverty. And poor people are capable people. They are not just an inanimate object. They are human beings. They are full of creativity, full of energy, full of potentials. So all we need to do is to open the door so that they can come out and change the world. So this is the issue which will be raised and presented through the movie, through the story of the work that I do. And also I talk about something called social business. There's a different kind of business that needs to be introduced in the business world. A business to do good to the people, business to change the world. I'm calling it social business. And lots of such businesses are coming out. And one of the reasons that I'm here in Beijing, I'll be talking to the business people here to see if they will be interested in creating social business themselves. So these are the things, as I do, will be presented through the movie so that people in general like to see and think about it, whether they would like to get involved and do things on their own. Yeah.
Now, for our listeners' sake and our viewers' sake, let's explain this a little bit more. When you talk about social business, are we talking about social corporate responsibility, or are we talking about another means of social business?
I'm talking about a completely new, different kind of business. Corporate social responsibility is created by the conventional businesses which are dedicated to maximizing profit. That's what the mission of any business is. So while they make profits, they have no time to pay attention to other social issues, the problem they create in doing the business, ignoring people, ignoring the planet, and all the difficulties are accumulated by doing that. So what they do after they calculate their profit, whatever profit they made, they make a donation. That, okay, we should take care of some of the problems that either we created or somebody else created to clean it up. So this is the corporate social responsibility fund. That money should be going to people to help the people who are left behind so that they can move on. So this is after you have made the profit. This money is given, and most of the time it's not even used for that purposes. Most of the time it's used for public relations purposes.
Sure.
You try to say how nice a company you are, and you want to popularize yourself. The social business I'm talking about is, it is from the very start is different. Here you don't want to make any profit at all, zero profit for yourself. The whole company is geared towards addressing a social issue in a business way. So that you can reduce the problem, you can enhance the ability of the people through your business. And as an owner, you don't do it to make money out of it, you do it to change the people's lives, make a difference in other people's life. So there, it's a business because you recover your cost. It's a business, you can even make profit, but that profit doesn't come to the owner. That profit is dedicated to reaching the objective that you have in mind.
We're curious to find out your thoughts on the idea of microcredit financing here in China, and whether or not the model that is being used in Bangladesh would work for China. Is it a one-fit-all solution, or do you have to tailor it somehow?
It doesn't matter who speaks what language, whether you speak in Chinese or Bangla or Hindi or English. People need money. Whether you live in China or you live in Guatemala or Costa Rica, it doesn't matter. What we do through microcredit, provide that money. So it solves the problem of people who need money, particularly at the very bottom level, who have never seen any money from any financial system. So we create that alternative financial system which works for them and works for the institution. It works out pretty good. So it works everywhere. It works in Bangladesh, it works in Mexico, it works in New York City, it works in France, it works in Norway. Similarly, it works in China. So we see no difference at all. It's a question of legal environment. Sometimes legal environment makes it more difficult, sometimes it makes it easy. So those are the difficulties or ease what you see in each country, legal environment. Not the people. People need money, you give them money, they make use of it, they pay you back. And particularly it's good for poor people because they can create the income generation for themselves. A poor woman in Bangladesh takes the loan, buy a cow, and sell the milk and pay back the bank. And she has some money for herself. And then after the loan is paid back, the whole cow is her own cow. Nobody has any claim on this cow anymore. So whatever milk this cow gives is all her milk. So this is an additional income source she got. And also additional asset that she has built just out of a loan. In the beginning of the loan, there was nothing. At the end of the loan, when you pay it back, you have a whole cow and milk supply and income source and so on and so forth. So this is the kind of change you bring with microcredit. So same is in China. People live in so many remote places. There's no income opportunity for people. Many men have left villages to work in the factories in other cities where the big export industries are growing up. But the women are left behind. And so we can start microcredit program. Women can generate their own income, and there's very self-satisfaction in it. That I'm taking care of myself. I'm busy. I'm doing things, and people appreciate my product. I do the embroidery. People love my embroidery. Somebody paid for it, and I feel good that I'm appreciated. I'm a useful person. I'm not just a housewife cleaning floors and cooking for the children all the time. So it's psychologically it's good, and as a human, you feel the dignity of your existence, that you can take care of yourself and you take care of your family. So it works in those kind of circumstances very well. It works in the cities, people who have no jobs, or husband works and wife doesn't work, or wife works, husband doesn't work. So this is a kind of program which helps the other person also get involved and generate income for himself or herself.